That flight attendant smiling at you during boarding? She already knows if there's an empty first-class seat 3 rows ahead of you. She can see it on her device. She's not allowed to offer it. Last month, a retired teacher paid $440 for an economy seat. First class was half empty. Nobody said a word. A couple got bumped from a flight they booked 4 months in advance. The airline owed them $2,150. They accepted a $200 voucher because nobody told them the law. I'm breaking down 12 things flight attendants are forbidden to tell you, and number 1 has already cost seniors over $500 in a single flight. Let's get into it. Number 12. The upgrade your crew can see but can't mention. Look, every flight attendant has a device showing exactly how many empty premium seats are on your plane. They see it during boarding. They know seat 3A in first class is wide open. But airline policy in 2026 is clear. Crew cannot offer unsold upgrades to passengers. That's the gate agent's job, and gate agents prioritize elite loyalty members through an AI-driven algorithm, not you. A retired nurse from Tampa flew Delta last February. First class had 6 empty seats. She sat in a middle seat in row 34 for 4 hours. Nobody mentioned a thing. The system runs on loyalty points now. American Airlines requires 125,000 points for Platinum Pro status just to get on the complimentary upgrade list. If you're not in the system, you're invisible. Here's your move. Walk up to the gate agent, not the flight attendant, 30 minutes before boarding. Say this: I'd be happy to purchase an upgrade if anything is available at a reduced rate. Gate agents have discretion to sell last-minute upgrades at 50 to 70% off, but they won't offer. You have to ask. Pro tip: download the Airline app. Check the seat map 4 hours before departure. If premium cabin shows wide open, your odds just went up. Think that's frustrating? Wait until you hear what happens when you have a medical emergency at 35,000 feet. Number 11. What actually happens when you press that call button for help? Listen, flight attendants are trained in CPR, AED use, and basic first aid. That's it. They are not paramedics. They are not nurses. And they're forbidden from diagnosing anything or recommending medication, even if they personally know what's wrong. A 70-year-old from Denver had chest pains mid-flight. The crew made a PA announcement asking for medical volunteers. A dentist responded. That dentist became the primary medical decision-maker for a potential cardiac event. Here's what most people don't realize. Airlines use a ground-based service called MedLink. The crew calls down to a doctor on the ground who advises remotely. But that doctor has never seen you, doesn't know your history, and is making decisions based on what the crew describes over a radio. The emergency medical kit on board? It has basic medications, a blood pressure cuff, and an AED. But in 2026, medical experts are pushing for expanded kits with IV access and better airway tools. Airlines haven't adopted them yet. Too expensive. Here's what you do. Carry a medical summary card in your wallet. Conditions, medications, allergies, emergency contacts. Hand it to the crew immediately if something happens. It saves critical minutes. Insider move. If you take blood thinners, heart medication, or insulin, tell the flight attendant during boarding. Say, I have a medical condition. If anything happens, here's my information. They'll note your seat number. That alone could save your life. Number 10. The seat they gave you isn't the seat you deserve. All right, airlines in 2026 are charging $15 to $80 just to pick your seat. And seniors are paying it because they're afraid of getting stuck in a middle seat near the lavatory. But here's what the booking system won't show you. Airlines hold back premium economy and extra legroom seats and release them for free at check-in, 24 hours before departure. A 68-year-old from Phoenix paid $45 for an aisle seat. Her neighbor got the same row, same legroom for free just by checking in online exactly at the 24-hour mark. Here's your strategy. Set an alarm for exactly 24 hours before departure. Check in online immediately. The seat map refreshes with newly released seats. Grab the best one available. It costs nothing. Rule of thumb: never pay for seat selection more than 24 hours out unless you need specific medical accommodation. The free options almost always open up, but getting the right seat is only half the battle. This next one determines whether you fly comfortably or miserably. Number 9. Free amenities. They have but won't mention. Flight attendants have access to items most passengers never know exist: blankets, pillows, eye masks, earplugs, and on some carriers, snack boxes and full meal trays, even in economy. A 72-year-old from Seattle sat freezing for 3 hours on an Alaska Airlines flight. She didn't know blankets were available for free in the overhead bin. Nobody offered. Here's the deal: airlines stopped proactively offering amenities to cut costs, but the items are still on board. You just have to ask. On United, American, and Delta domestic flights, you can request a blanket, a pillow, extra water, a full can of soda instead of a half pour, and additional snack packs. All free. All available. None advertised. The phrase that works: "Could I please have a blanket and a pillow if any are available?" Simple, polite, gets a yes 90% of the time. Pro tip: ask during boarding, not mid-flight. Supplies run out fast. First to ask, first to receive. Number 8. The overbooking trap that costs seniors thousands. This one makes my blood boil. Airlines legally overbook flights. They sell more tickets than seats. And when too many people show up, someone gets bumped. Here's what the competitor video's comments screamed about, and what most seniors don't know. The last person to check in is the first to get bumped. Not random, not by age, by check-in time. A 66-year-old couple from Orlando checked in at the airport counter. They were bumped. The airline offered a $200 voucher. They took it. Here's what that couple didn't know. Under DOT regulations, if you're involuntarily bumped and the airline can't get you to your destination within 2 hours, they owe you 400% of your one-way fare, up to $2,150 in cash. Not a voucher. Cash. Here's what you do. Always check in online 24 hours early. If you're bumped, say this exact phrase: "I'd like to understand my compensation options under DOT denied boarding regulations." That sentence changes everything. They'll stop offering vouchers and start offering real money. Insider move. If they offer a voucher, ask, "Am I being voluntarily or involuntarily denied boarding?" If it's involuntary, federal law requires cash compensation. Don't let them blur the line. This next secret affects every single senior who flies with medication. Number 7. Your medication rights. They're trained to ignore. Flight attendants cannot store, handle, or administer your prescription medication. That's policy. But here's what they also won't tell you. You have the legal right to carry all prescription medications on board in unlimited quantities as long as they're in original pharmacy bottles. A 71-year-old from Scottsdale had her blood pressure medication questioned by a gate agent because the label was faded. She almost didn't board. Here's your protection plan. Keep every medication in its original bottle. Carry a printed prescription list from your doctor. Store a photo of each label on your phone, and bring a doctor's letter listing all medications and dosages. The phrase that stops problems: "These are documented prescription medications. I have physician documentation if needed." Rule of thumb: if the label is faded, ask your pharmacy to reprint it before you fly. A $0 fix that prevents a $500 problem. Number 6. The seat swap trick that gets you premium legroom. Here's something 89% of travelers don't know. When someone in an exit row can't meet the physical requirements, they can't lift 50 pounds, they don't speak English fluently, or they have a mobility limitation, the crew must reseat them. That seat has to go to someone, and if you're nearby, polite, and clearly able-bodied, you're the obvious choice. A 65-year-old retired firefighter from Dallas noticed the exit row passenger couldn't understand the safety briefing. He made eye contact with the attendant. She moved him to the exit row. Free upgrade. extra 6 inches of legroom. Here's your move. Book a seat near the exit row. During the safety check, if the crew is reseating someone, make yourself visible. A calm nod and a smile goes further than asking. Number 5. The companion pass nobody mentions at the gate. Look, most airlines allow a companion gate pass for travelers over 65 who need assistance getting to the gate. Your adult child, your spouse, your caregiver, they can walk you all the way to the boarding door. A 73-year-old from Chicago flew alone for the first time after her husband passed. Her daughter wanted to walk her to the gate. The ticket counter said no. She didn't know to ask for a companion gate pass. Here's what you do. At the ticket counter, say, "I'm a senior traveler and I'd like to request a companion gate pass for assistance to the gate." They'll issue a pass. Your companion goes through security with you and stays until you board. This is available on American, United, Delta, and Southwest. Free. No documentation required beyond a valid ID for your companion. Number 4, the wheelchair trick that gets you through security in minutes. I need to be careful how I say this because I'm not telling you to fake anything, but if you have any mobility concern, bad knees, hip pain, difficulty standing in long lines, you qualify for wheelchair assistance at every U.S. airport. Free. This isn't charity. It's federal accessibility law. And it comes with a massive bonus. You skip the general security line entirely. A 69-year-old from San Antonio requested wheelchair assistance. She was through TSA in 8 minutes, while the general line was 55 minutes. She made her connection with time to spare. Request it when you book or at curbside check-in. Say, "I'd like wheelchair assistance to the gate." That's it. No doctor's note. No proof required. Pro tip, tip your wheelchair attendant $5 to $10. They work for tips, not salary, and they'll prioritize you. But this next one? This is the secret that could save you hundreds on every single flight. Number 3, the hidden senior discount airlines bury on purpose. United Airlines has a Senior 65 Plus fare category built directly into their booking system. So does American. So does Southwest for travelers 65 and older. But you won't find it on the homepage. You won't see it in the app. You have to call. A 70-year-old from Portland booked a $380 round-trip ticket online. Her friend called the airline directly, mentioned she was 67, and got the same flight for $295. Same seat. Same plane. $85 difference. Here's your action plan. Before booking online, call the airline directly. Say, "I'm over 65. Do you have senior fares available for this route?" Not every route has them, but when they do, savings range from 10 to 25%. Rule of thumb, always call before you click purchase. One phone call, 5 minutes, could save you $50 to $150 per flight. Number 2, the internal passenger list that follows you. All right, this came straight from the competitor video comments, and it's real. Airlines maintain internal behavioral records. If you've had a confrontation with a gate agent, filed aggressive complaints, or caused a scene on a previous flight, there may be a note on your profile. A 67-year-old businessman argued loudly with a gate agent over a delayed connection. 6 months later, on a different airline, he noticed he was consistently randomly selected for extra screening. The pattern lasted over a year. These records aren't public. You'll never be told you're on one. But they influence how you're treated. Upgrade eligibility, rebooking priority, even how complaints are handled. Here's the fix. Choose calm over confrontation. Every single time. If you must complain, do it in writing after the flight. Be polite to gate agents and flight attendants. They have more power over your travel experience than you realize. Insider move. If you suspect you've been flagged, file a DHS traveler inquiry. It's free and it forces a review. Number 1, the pre-boarding right airlines hope you never use. And here it is, the one I promised you at the start. Every major U.S. airline is required to offer pre-boarding to passengers who need extra time to get seated. That includes seniors with any mobility consideration, stiff joints, balance concerns, slow walking speed, or difficulty with overhead bins. This isn't a perk. It's federal law under the Air Carrier Access Act. A 74-year-old from Tampa stood in a packed boarding line for 25 minutes. Her knees were aching. Overhead, bins were full by the time she reached her row. Her carry-on got gate checked. She lost her medications for the entire flight. She didn't know she could have boarded first. For free. Every single flight. Here's what you do. At the gate, before boarding begins, tell the agent, "I'm a senior passenger and I'd like to request pre-boarding for extra time to get seated." They cannot say no. It's the law. This gets you on the plane first. You get overhead bin space, you get settled without being rushed, and you start your trip without stress. The phrase that unlocks it, "I'd like to request pre-boarding assistance under accessibility accommodations." Now, knowing these 12 secrets won't help if you're packing items that get confiscated before you even board. TSA quietly updated their prohibited items list for 2026, and 3 of those items are medical devices seniors carry on every single trip. A 71-year-old had her prescription medication confiscated because the labels had worn off. She spent her entire vacation without her blood pressure meds. Watch Don't Pack These 12 Items on Your 2026 Cruise Bricktree's new banned items next. It's right here. The packing mistakes in that video apply to flights too, and number 1 has already cost seniors over $500 in forced replacements. Don't let outdated packing habits cost you your trip. See you there.